So this is, in addition to all the features and all the stuff you guys really want to see, when we do events, one of the things we hear a lot is, do you have a new poster? And I wanted to kind of give you a little bit of insight into the culture of Grafana and how this comes about. So the posters, for us, kind of have a little bit of a, I would say, kind of a higher charge, to where we want them to define our culture. So at its heart, it should be, as a collection, our values as a company. And as that grows and as it evolves, we want to put the care into both the creation of the posters, the art, as well as how we print that. So that way it does have, it's more than just swag. So every poster, we want to define our culture. We want it to apply and inspire our software. And then we also want it to connect with the community. So that way when you get it, it actually, you want it. You want to have it around in your office, in your home. And people have sent pictures of the posters in their homes, which is pretty cool. So the first one happened organically. We had been talking about this idea about democratized metrics and how Grafana and why Grafana became popular a few years ago. And it was about taking something that used to be just available to the DevOps or like the most core group of DevOps at the company and exposing it a little bit more widely. And then with the metric exploration and the first graphite data source, you were able to actually go, and someone that didn't know anything about the metrics was able to explore down and get a graph, and that was super powerful. This still applies to us today. This still applies to everything that we do and how we think about how Grafana is going to be consumed at the companies. So if this poster was kind of a rally cry about who we were as a company and how we wanted Grafana to work, the next one was more of a mantra and something that we had been talking about kind of as we were adding new interface elements into Grafana in version 2 and version 3. Just that idea that you never want to let like a cool interface element or something shiny or an animation or something get in the way of the actual functionality of Grafana. So we never want to get in the way of the data. At its heart, if we do something that might look sharp, it's going to impact your lives. You're going to dislike it, and it's going to make it harder for you to do what you need to do with Grafana. The next poster came about in 2016, where we started to see Grafana being used in a lot of other uses. We saw, and I'll switch in a second. We saw CERN had been using it, but then we saw Microsoft shipping it as part of an underwater data center. And then Dieter on our team saw it being used in the SpaceX launch control room. And all of a sudden, Grafana turned into something that was helping people visualize CPU to we were part of something bigger. Like Grafana was colonizing Mars, or gonna. So this next poster was about us and kind of like our role in the broader community, right? And we're contributing to something bigger, and we're helping people do something like greater, and however we can ship that and support that open source software. But then also the idea of our community, right? And Grafana is better because people are submitting PRs, people are submitting issues, and it isn't just a team that's driving this. It is the broader community. It's everyone here. It's all the conversations that we're having. So then we started talking about, or go back to, do we have a new poster, right? So what is this new poster? And we thought about it, we thought about it, we thought about it. And it came down to who are we, right? And what are those cultures that we care about? We're a global company. We're split between New York and Stockholm, but a lot of our team is also spread globally. We have a couple self-proclaimed digital nomads. That global company has given us a lot of different perspectives. So, for example, Stockholm has a very different summer vacation policy than the US. And I think we quickly figured out that there isn't one way to do things, right? There's a lot of, widening our perspective and widening our context really gives us a lot of insight. And finally, the people that we hire are very autonomous. They're independently motivated. When they see an issue along the way, they don't just gloss over it and say that's someone else's department. They chime in, they speak up, they try and fix it. So then the poster, stylistically, what should it be, right? Or how should it be different, right? It needs to be a different style. It shouldn't be the same thing. It needs to kind of represent the diversity of where we want to be. And we also wanted to look outside of our bubble. Quick plug to womenwhodraw.com, who a friend of mine started, and I leaned heavily on this because it was this directory of people that I never would have had exposure to worldwide that are all amazing illustrators and artists and comic designers. And we're able to find our new poster. So this is it. The new poster tag is Innovate Everywhere. And for us, it represents both the collection of cities that we're in, but it also represents the software. It represents kind of like the different parts of who we are. We live outside of that Silicon Valley bubble, and we wanted to kind of like represent that, and we know that you do as well, right? And Innovate Everywhere also applies to when we're building software, when you're looking at code and you're looking for little edges of where you can actually improve things and not just glossing that over. And then finally, the artist who we found happened to be based in the Netherlands. She is on a bus here right now, and she's going to be signing these posters at 3:50 during that break. So we have these, once again, printed on high-quality art paper. Encourage everyone to take one home, get a signature in the artist, and yeah, join us there. So, thank you.